Hi guys! Here is another update in my Steelbook collection. Just a small one because it's just the 4 films that I've been watching recently. So I think there was only one that was opened in one of my previous Steelbook videos, so I thought, well, I'll do an update on the set as them, have a little rant about something that's annoying me, and then we'll go from there and it'll be another little update video. If you have not already guessed from the title, I am doing the Hunger Games trilogy Steelbook collection. I think the majority of these I got from Zavvi. I think possibly all of them are from Zavvi. This one was quite hard to get a hold of. They kept saying it's out of stock, it's in stock, it's out of stock, oh we've got 100 left. If you use Zavvi, you know what they're like when it comes to these kind of things. So this is the 3-disc Steelbook Collector's Edition, and it says it features the unseen version of the film on Blu-ray. In here have Blu-ray, the DVD and the special features, and that is just the back of the Steelbook there. It's quite matte, it's not shiny or raised in any way. So this is your inside here. Got the Blu-ray on that side, you've got your DVD there, and you've got your features there. And that is the inside of your Steelbook case. Anyone else having flashbacks to Maleficent, Little Mermaid, anything like that? I mean, this is honestly shocking. It's not even like a black background to match it. I mean, you're paying like top dollar for this Steelbook. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I think I was one of those people who paid extra money for it, and then it came out and they were like, oh, we've got loads of stock left now, it's $9.99. I was like, well, the hell was the point? Or maybe it was just the actual Blu-ray and the special features and not the DVD as well. Needless to say, I am pretty annoyed about that. I think that's quite shoddy. It's not what you'd expect from a Steelbook, and it's just annoying me that there's no background to that whatsoever. The good thing about the Hunger Games features is you do get a mammoth amount of extras on them. The extras on these are just crazy. I mean, these will take you a whole other day to watch after you've watched the film, because they really do go into a lot of detail there. So it's definitely worth getting for the extras. And then you have Catching Fire. Again, the Steelbook is matte, got that on the back there. Thankfully with this one you actually do get a backing to the Steelbook, just your standard backing. With this you just get the 2 discs, so you have the special features, the film itself. I do like this film. I do like Catching Fire and I do like the Hunger Games. I think they were also the better books for me as well. It has been quite some time since I read them. Going with previous trilogies at the moment, such things like Divergent, I liked the first couple of books, didn't like the end books so much. Here's where I run into a problem with these Steelbooks, because I have the Mockingjay Part 1 and the Mockingjay Part 2. Now, the reason I have such a problem with these is because the book didn't need split into 2. They were just following in from the cash cow that was Breaking Dawn and Deathly Hallows as well, which I'll go into in a minute, but we're here to talk about the Steelbooks. There's your back of Mockingjay Part 1. There is nothing on the spine of this, which is quite disappointing. But when you're looking at your shelf, that looks pretty odd. Like if you didn't have the rest of the Hunger Games around them, say if you had them under M and you didn't keep them in a set, that looks odd. This one has a backing, so you've got President Snow, Peeta and Joanna on the left hand side there. Although you never really see Joanna like that. You've got Katniss on the other side. You've only got 1 disc with this one, so it has all the features and everything on it. So we've gone from 3 discs to 2 discs to 1 disc, but you've still got a decent amount of extras with this. It's also got an Insurgent sneak peek on it for some reason. Part 1 is the best film for me, I think, in my opinion. I don't like Part 2 very much, having just rewatched it. I think there's a whole lot of political propaganda and everything like that in it, And I just think, personally for me, they should have just done it as a trilogy and not followed on from the cash cow and split it in two, because it really didn't need split into two. It could have been a slightly longer film maybe, but it wasn't long enough to split into two, and there is a lot of padding between these two films, I kid you not. So you've got your back, Steelbook. You do have the title on the spine, which looks much better than its predecessor. And you're back down to one disc on this one. President Snow with his head chopped off. Got Katniss on the other side. I don't think that outfit, the very Electra outfit, appears anywhere in the film. So my main problem, as I was saying with this, is it didn't need to be split into half. So for example, if you take the book, The Hunger Games, not a movie tie-in or anything like that, I got these before the movies came out. It's meant to be a major motion picture. Just the basic. This is the edition I have. I still have a receipt in here. 8th of January 2012, and I paid a grand total of £4.24 for it. So I bought that in 2012. I reckon the rest were roughly about the same time. But for instance, if you're taking off the couple of pages of acknowledgements at the back there, your grand total is 455 pages, with the last line of, but there are much worse games to play. So 455 pages. The others were around about the late 300s, 400 mark, as far as I can remember. Let's compare it. Breaking Dawn, for example, which I have here, which is just the kind of re-release books that came out. I had the others in paperback. I did have Breaking Dawn in hardback originally. I sold that and got this one with the white and red cover there. For instance, this one that was made, split into two films, 702 pages. Quite a significant difference. That is just in the paperback, though I can't think the hardback was probably roughly around the others the same. And then you have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I got all the adult editions because I had when they first came out I had the children's editions, and then the later ones I got were all the adult editions in hardback. There's JK. And for instance, this book, also put into two, is 607 pages. Two longer books with more detail, with more stuff to include, are split into two films. There was no need for the smaller book, the significantly smaller book, if you compare them. There was no need for this book to be split into two. There was, as I've said, there was too much padding, there was too much unnecessary happenings that weren't really crucial to the storyline or moving forward in the storyline. The second part for me of Mockingjay is just, I really didn't like it. I was bored during it, wasn't really paying attention, whereas probably the first time I watched it, I think I was fine. I think I was like, oh, Hunger Games and everything. So it just shows how much your opinion on something can change over the course of time. I would definitely stick to Hunger Games and Catching Fire and then Mockingjay Part 1. Mockingjay Part 2 doesn't really need to be included if you're going through a rewatch, for instance, of all the films like I've just done. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's needed. I don't think it was necessary for whoever made the decision to split the book into two films. They were just trying to cash in on Harry Potter and Twilight at the time. Those had considerably longer final books, considerably. I like the Hunger Games. I would like to go back and reread the books at some point if I ever get my to be read shelves down, which is never going to happen. All in all, the final film in the trilogy, if you're talking about Mockingjay Part 2, is just a disappointment to the entire series. But I thought I'd leave you with this other quick update, guys, and I will see you again in another video. Bye!